With a wheel spin. All right, Castle Blakk Radio JB Metal interview of Mindmaze in Allentown, Pennsylvania. They're in their hometown. How does it feel to play in your backyard?
Good that we don't have to drive very far to get home. We don't have to spend a lot of money on gas. I don't have to worry about being asleep at the wheel. And that's good. I mean, it's also good that, like, you know, your friends and family and coworkers and stuff have the chance to come out and see you, because I surely know my coworkers aren't driving an hour and a half to come see us play a show. So I mean, that's pretty cool.
All right, how's the response been to the Dreamwalker EP?
It's weird. I'm not used to having to do an interview like after we play.
It's like, I can't.
I can't brain. Yeah. But, anyway, yeah, I mean, it's been good. I mean, the thing is, it was a limited release that we crowdfunded through Kickstarter, so we only pressed about 300 copies of it, so it really has only gotten out to like a fraction of our actual fan base, but yeah, I mean, the response has been positive. People seem to think the covers were really cool, and you know, we're playing the original song off It's Late to the Cycle live now, and all of us really like playing it.
I own it. I enjoy it. What is your favorite cover song on there? And I'm asking every member of the band this question. So, Sarah?
I mean, I actually think, I mean, as far as how it turned out and how happy I was with the performance on the EP, I'm going with the Wasp cover, because
that's great.
That's one of my song. It's one of my favorite albums, and I mean, Jeff, I'm sure will agree. But as for me personally, like, to sing that song was kind of challenging. It was like a bit different, stylistically from like what we normally do. So it was kind of nice to like go in the studio and try to like, you know, test my boundaries and see like, you know, how far I could really go with it. So I mean, that's my favorite.
Mine's probably the Sabotage song, Strange Wings.
Another great tune.
It's not my... I don't know. It's hard to say, but like, I just, with Chris Oliva's guitar work, like, I just made a point to like really try to stick close to the style and the spirit of it, while still kind of adding bits and pieces of my own, and you know, tried to get all the tones right, and I also just like, you know, we did it as like a duet with this guy Chad Barnes, who sings for a great Indiana-based progressive power metal band called Dracon. Because on the original version of Strange Wings, it's a duet. Well, it's kind of a duet with Ray Gillen of Badlands, but in like the late '90s and stuff, Sabotage toured when John Oliva and Zach Stevens were both in the band, and they did it more of like the actual duet arrangement that we actually used. But I just thought it was fun to do.
All right, I agree. Now, you may get this question, you may not. This is to pique my curiosity. Being a brother and sister in a band, does it make it easier or harder?
Both.
Mark's over there laughing, and that's nice. I mean, yeah, it's like there are certain things, like, I mean, as far as like when it comes to us like working on new material or like, you know, singing and stuff, particularly it's easy for us to sing harmonies and for us to record. Like, a lot of people, when they go in the studio and they go to sing like vocals that are supposed to be sung together, people have to spend like a lot of time like working on the exact phrasing and the like timing and, you know, everything, and like diction and all that stuff to try to match another singer.
Right.
Jeff and I just sing similarly. Like, we don't really have to try. It just kind of like comes out the same way. It's like really easy to go in there and make everything like sound like it should fit together. So I mean, that's good. And like, as far as working on like new stuff goes, a lot of times we'll just kind of like have a lot of the same ideas at the same time, almost, where it's like we don't usually argue.
Twins or something? Or?
No, it's funny because people have assumed that, because I mean, for some reason, like, I don't know, they just assume that we're about the same age. And Jeff's actually 2 years younger than me, But
Really? I thought it was the other way around.
yep. Well, I still look the same since I'm 12. So I mean, to be fair, it's really because I don't age. So it's but for working on new material, it's usually good because we kind of just like jive real well. But
well, what I was gonna say was that like I think it's easier and harder in the sense that or harder and easier, I guess is a better way to say it, because like we fight more, but we're quicker to it's quicker and easier to get over bullshit with your sibling. Like if people in a band that weren't related kind of argued the way Sarah and I did, it would
they'd
be
like break up immediately.
It would be a very volatile situation.
I've been in various basement bands, egos, and I'm only going to play this, come into play far too often, and it just doesn't go anywhere. And this band that I used to play in, they're still in a basement with 20 different people since I was in it, and they still are not playing anywhere. So I can sympathize. Let's see. Can you share some of your favorite bands, influence? Obviously, we just talked about some, but is there a few more that you really want to say, hey, this band, this person really influences how I do what I do?
Rich, you're not allowed to talk about this.
Come on, it's not like
I'm
Rich
kidding.
doesn't have any.
He's sitting right here.
I'm kidding.
This interview's for all four of you.
I'm kidding.
Truck's gonna have to talk later. I got a story, so
Yeah.
he's avoiding the questions, but he's gonna have to talk
He
later.
wants to be a part of the band, so he's gonna have to answer some questions. But
No, it's fine. I can talk all night.
for me, my biggest influences when it comes to singing and everything, my two favorite singers, and I'd probably say two of my biggest influences are Russell Allen, from Symphony X. He's been my favorite singer, and I mean I'd probably say influence-wise one of the biggest ones. And Glenn Hughes is my other favorite singer.
Okay.
I mean the thing that's kind of weird about me is I don't really like female singers. I'm not saying that I particularly dislike female singers, but as far as my influences go, it's not all female singers.
You hate everybody but Nina.
No, there's actually some other female singers that I actually really like. But for influence-wise, is probably the only one I'd say is Pat Benatar, which we did the Pat Benatar cover. So
that's a great cover.
But yeah, mostly it's all
not
male
to take away from the Sabotage cover and the Wasp cover, but that's a great cover.
Yeah, for playing, I guess I would say I'm a really old school guitar player for my generation. 95% maybe or more of my guitar playing influences are guys from not even just 80s bands, but a lot of 70s players also. Adrian Smith from Iron Maiden is probably my favorite
giveaway.
Yeah, favorite guitarist overall.
Pointed out,
but two of his biggest influences were Michael Schenker from UFO and
love
Gary
Michael
Moore.
Schenker.
And I love those guys too. So it's basically those guys and a bit of John Sykes from Whitesnake.
Oh yeah.
It's just that general school of guitar players basically. And then when it comes to writing, it's kind of a mishmash of it's weird. Obviously, Maiden's probably, I guess, our biggest stylistic influence overall. But it's I usually describe it to people as people who don't know any better or don't maybe know some of the more underground bands. It's kind of like Iron Maiden meets some light elements of Dream Theater with a female singer. And it's the early, the first couple of Dream Theater albums was definitely a huge influence on our style. And there's a bit of the European power metal shit in there, and modern progressive metal bands. And the big thing for me though is I'm a huge Kansas fan, and it's the overall compositional style of their music is something I find really awesome. So But it's like, yeah, again, we're just very like, I have a lot of roots in like 70s stuff. Like even a lot of the guys I know that are my age are more into like, if they're into old stuff, it's like 80s shit. And it's like, I'm more likely to sit and listen to bands like UFO or Thin Lizzy or Rainbow or Kansas or, you know, stuff like that than a lot of the more stereotypical metal bands or whatever. And then, yeah, definitely a touch of like the classic progressive metal stuff like the Fates Warning and Queensryche and bands like that. And for like a modern prog band, one of my favorite bands is a Swedish band called Evergrey. I think a lot of our more like darker-ish, heavier riffing stuff is like very influenced by them. I don't know if Rich wants to talk about playing influences.
Yeah, sure. I mean, and obviously, from early on, like, you know, there's nothing interesting going on here, you know. It's like, you know, obviously the Getty influence, you know, I was a massive Rush fan growing up, and, you know, getting into metal, obviously, I love Steve Harris, and that kind of got me...
How could you not?
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And then a friend got me into Dream Theater, and then, you know, I was all about prog, you know, for like 4 or 5 years in high school. But, yeah, as far as influences go, like, you know, to start playing and pick up the bass, it's, you know, it basically that's that, you know.
Cool. Now, I will have to say, I like your influences. If you ever need a rhythm guitar player, call me. I have a very, very wide guitar collection. You can ask my brother-in-law over my shoulder here. I'm the riff master. I can't play a song from start to finish, but I can play some riffs. All right. All right. Now, this is a big thing. It must have been an honor to share the same stage as Saxon.
Nah.
Now, the first time I saw you was 2 years ago, so not this tour. The prior tour was Saxon at Reverb in Reading, and then I saw you again doing the same thing. So that's got to be a freaking honor. I mean, these guys have been around since almost before you guys were born.
Oh, definitely.
Oh, yeah, definitely before we were born.
I mean, I'm a little bit older. I mean, I don't want to show my age, but I'm a little bit older than you guys.
Yeah, probably like the
Who's the oldest one here?
What?
Huh?
Who's the oldest one here?
Me.
You mean excluding
Of the band.
Oh,
of the band? Well, other than Mark, me.
the drummers, yeah.
No, not other than. So Mark.
Yes.
How old are you?
Truck.
Really? Do we need that?
No.
47.
That's why I said other than.
Okay, all right.
Dude, I'm right behind you. I'm 45.
No, I remember when Power and then
Do you still want me as your rhythm guitar player?
Me
Okay.
and Susie had so much fun.
All right. Now, you know, I saw you twice at the Reverb in Reading.
I knew it. Sorry.
I saw you twice at the Reverb in Reading, opening for Saxon, and then you did a mini tour across the United States with Saxon. How did you do that? Was it like a poll? Was it like fan thing? Was it?
Believe it or not, it actually had nothing to do with having opened for them as a local support band twice. I mean, the second time we opened for them, I did get a chance to actually, you know, talk to a bunch of the guys in the band after the show, and you know, particularly like Nigel, really, you know, when it was very talkative with us. It's like, you know, but nothing really came of that. It basically, we're working with the management, or I guess I should say a booking agency now called Infinity Concerts, and the guy that runs Infinity, whose name's Milton, he is kind of the one that put this together. He handles support tours for a bunch of, you know, touring, well, usually international touring bands, and he you know, has been following us and has been a supporter and fan of ours for a while, and had mentioned wanting to do stuff with us, and, you know, he got contacted that they were looking for a band to, you know, go as a support band for Saxon Armored Saint for like 10 days or whatever it was. Yeah, and he asked us, he's like, you know, I think this could be like the perfect thing for you guys. Are you interested? And of course, we naturally were like, yes.
I wouldn't turn it down.
But yeah, I mean, it's a big honor for me. I mean, Saxon are among my favorite bands, probably like the top like 10 or 12 or something like that. But it's like the thing that I like so much about them is I think of like all the like old classic metal bands. I think they're one of the bands that has aged the best, and I think they're one of the bands that puts out the best new material. They still act like they really care.
Right. Understood.
So, and I mean, yeah, they still bring it as a live band. I mean, every night we were basically, I said, I'm like, it's gonna make us look bad if we get our ass kicked by a band of guys that are twice our age.
I've seen many openers destroy the headliners. Don't get me wrong. I love Saxon. I love you guys. I don't think you would ever do that on the same stage with them. But
when we opened for Motley Crue, believe it or not, we actually had people that said that. We had a few people that we didn't know come up to us in the lobby after the show and say that they thought we sounded much better and that they actually were far more impressed by us.
It's odd that you mentioned Motley Crue. Back in 1988, I saw Motley Crue at the Spectrum in Philadelphia. May the Spectrum rest in peace. Loudness opened up for Motley Crue.
Nice.
I only knew that song, Rock and Roll Crazy Nights. That's the only loudest song I knew at the time. They opened for Motley Crue. This is on Theater of Pain tour, right?
That's hilarious.
Loudness. They had a 30-minute set. I mean, literally, maybe 29 and a half minute set. They blew Motley Crue off the fucking set. Don't get me wrong. Motley Crue still put on a good show. I was more impressed with the band. I only knew one song. They even did a guitar solo, and dude dropped his guitar pick and just started playing with his fingers. And all my anti-loudness friends, oh, he dropped his guitar pick. What did he do? He improvised. He played with his fingers. Sorry, tangent. Let's get back to you guys. But that's what I'm saying. It's like sometimes the opening act will upstage the headliner. All right, on this mini tour with Saxon, is there any Saxon stories you'd like to share?
Well, there's one that I can't tell in an interview.
Well, if you don't, it's not.
That's okay.
That must be a good one.
I can tell it, but I can't tell who we're talking about. That's what I can't tell.
Well, we can save it for another time if you'd like. Or
We had an incident while we were on tour.
Okay.
The one when we got to the Cleveland show.
Truck's laughing. No, Rich is laughing.
When we got to the Cleveland show, we realized, we got in there and
Cleveland,
realized
Cincinnati. What's the difference, right?
our dressing room that night was actually the laundry room.
So, what's wrong with
Which
that?
was awesome because I got to just do laundry while we were in there. But
Because you're on tour, you got to do laundry sometime,
yep.
right?
Well, right next to the laundry room was like the bathroom and shower, and like we find out where our room is and stuff, and we go get our stuff, and we come down and we're like, man, it smells in here like somebody really blew up the bathroom. So we're like, okay. And, I'm not going to say who, but one of the guys from Saxon was walking out of the room while we were coming in. Well, like, moments later, the tour manager comes in and starts freaking out, like, yelling at us about how somebody blew up the bathroom and, can't you guys have some respect for people and do this in a public bathroom where people don't have to work right next to it? Like, flipping out, like, acting like,
So they blamed you and it wasn't you.
And we're like, it wasn't us. Like, and I mean, I think maybe he believed that it wasn't us, but we were like, we couldn't tell him who it actually was. Yeah. That was our story.
All right, truck, don't wander too far.
Okay.
In Detroit, you got to meet Castle Blakk radio station owner, Metal Mom Sandra Newton, and she enjoyed your performance, but she wanted to thank you personally because you kept an eye on her grandchildren. So, she mentioned that you guys signed their arm. You guys signed their arms and stuff.
Yeah.
But you kept an eye. You sat at the same table with them the whole show.
Yeah, they were really
and stuff
nice.
like that. I'm just from Detroit. I'm passing it along. this is the station. She's bigger in the metal community than I am. I'm just JV Metal here in Philadelphia. But she just want to let you know she wanted to thank you for spending the time with her grandchildren, all of you, and signing their arms. She said they went like 2 weeks without washing because. But I'm just passing along. I don't have the whole story because I wasn't there, But I just thought you'd enjoy that.
I'm so glad we got that follow up.
Let's see. You mentioned this earlier, and of course I had it with us because I tried to do some homework. You just did something at 95.1 WZZO.
Yes.
Explain exactly what it was, what you did. I mean, you had a little video on your Facebook page. I didn't have time to watch it. I got a day job. I do a DJ. I can't follow everything. So just explain to everybody. You had this thing on ZZ, one of the few remaining good rock FM stations. Not that I should mention another station while I'm on this station, but I've enjoyed ZZO since my being a teenager, and I won't tell you how old I am. So just explain what you did last week on ZZO.
We just went in like we did kind of like little interview segments, and that was like mixed in with Jeff and I did an acoustic performance of like some of our stuff. So it was like a mini interview and some acoustic stuff, and yeah, it was really cool. Like I actually really had a lot of fun doing that. So I definitely think we'll be doing that again at some point. I mean, probably like later in the year as we get closer to like having the new album out and stuff. So yeah.
Oh, new album? You got some stuff recorded?
Not yet. Well, we're in the process of like actually writing it. So yeah, we're looking at pre-production for the album is going to be like soon. Like Jeff's going to start going into the studio to start recording some of the stuff that we have written so far, to start doing some like demos of things. So that's going to start soon, and then like we're probably looking at starting actual tracking in like March. Yeah.
Okay. Well, if you ever want to do some sneak previews, Castle Blakk Radio would love to do the world premiere. I know we're just a little radio station that's around the world, but
no, that'd be awesome. I mean,
we're local.
It'll be a while for that,
yeah.
But definitely we will definitely get in touch with you.
Okay. Sarah, I saw there was a video you kept posting and it kept coming back down.
No, here we go.
I'm not going to go into detail. It just some of your fans want to know, and that's the interview is, we hit everybody. It just, okay. She recently did a duet with Kip Winger. How did you get the opportunity to do something like that? I'm just average Joe. Like, is there something on his fan club page, or say, oh, I sing for this band, or you just jumped on stage going, hey, I'm a singer? I mean, how do you do that?
It's like, well, I mean, the thing is there isn't really that much of a romantic story as to how that happened. I mean, like when he does his acoustic shows like that, he almost always asks someone to come up and sing that song with him. Okay. Now, like, he always asks someone. I mean, they're random people, kind of just like whatever. And
so sometimes it's a train wreck, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes they're not very.
I mean, yours was on point. I mean,
he even said it was like one of the best of those he's ever done. So I mean, that was actually really cool. But it
must make you feel really good.
Yeah, especially since I was like so nervous.
I know you have a good voice.
I mean, everyone just laughs because I just seem so nervous and stupid in that video. I'm like, yeah, that's totally not like my normal,
No, I think you could have built it out. I've seen you live a few times. I think you could have taken I'm not saying you did horribly. I'm just saying you did good. Yeah, I think you could have taken
it was a little bit reserved for a while. By the time we got to the end of the song, it was like, there, but I'm just like, in the beginning I was just like, okay, oh my god, this is happening. Don't forget the words.
But it must have been an honor to do that. I mean,
yeah, and it was really fun.
Is he one of your favorites, or is it just like, oh, I'm just going to do this to do this?
No, I mean, like, I kind of actually like there's not like a long story of like Winger's always been one of my favorite bands. Like I just randomly went to go see them. No, people joke about that though.
Sorry.
People always make that joke. But,
the other band members got that reference.
But we actually went to see them like because a friend of ours needed a ride like back in fall of 2014. So this isn't even that long ago.
So it was just like happenstance that you got.
Yeah, and I went and it was Winter Firehouse, and I was like,
that's
so
even better that way.
Yeah, I was like so blown away. I was like, it was like literally like how when you discover a lot of bands you like when you're younger. Like, and I was just like, it had been a while since I really got into a band like that. But I kind of had always written Winger off. I was like, well, that song 17's stupid, and I don't like that. So I kind of just thought they were like not as serious of a band, and I never really gave them a chance. I didn't want to listen to their other material.
I totally understand that one.
So I'm like, I always hated that song, so it kind of just like really made me never want to check them out. But when we went to see them live, I was like, whoa, like I'm stupid. So, I mean, like, yeah, like. Kip Winger's like not one of my like all-time musical heroes, although the guy's like pretty amazing with like and he writes like classical music and stuff. Like he's like really educated with like music theory, and I mean like for me that's cool. But I mean the big thing is I just have a huge crush on the guy, so it was just like
even better
for me to have to stand there like that. It was just kind of like funny.
All right, we'll move on. You guys do a lot of shows with A Sound of Thunder. Is this like band buddies, friends? Just our music is good enough. We play them with them. Wait, what?
It kind of just like happened. Like it was like random.
It kind of happened by chance. We just kind of ended up on a few shows together. But like the other reason why is that like the area where they're from, down in like Northern Virginia, Greater Washington D.C. area. And like they have a really strong local draw in Baltimore as well. Like is an area that took to us very strongly as well. It's just a really good local music scene, and we have a lot of fans down there. So it's like we started playing down there, and they're down there too. So it's like naturally two female fronted bands of like a relatively similar style, all things considered. And the other thing too is that they're like a 4-piece with one guitar, bass, drums, and vocals, and one backing vocal mic too. So it's like gear-wise, it's really, really easy to share a back line with us and them. The changeovers are always really, really easy. So it's just been kind of Also, we're at a very similar level in terms of the overall popularity and the status of our bands. We're at kind of a similar area where a lot of our goals in terms of trying to do small scale touring and stuff are very compatible. So we just do a lot of things together.
That's good. I like you both, so I won't tell you which one I like more over the other. I'm just being silly. Don't mind me. Let's see. What do I got left here for you? Okay. On your first release, some bands, they could have 10 releases before you have, they cut out like Mike LaPon on bass. I don't know if I can say this guy's name properly. Jens Johansson on keyboards.
Correct,
wow, yeah, very good.
See, I'm German, so my name is Jay. In German, my name is Hey. So on your first album to have big names like that, it must be like, oh my fucking god. Excuse my French.
Well, those guys actually played on the second full length.
Okay.
The Edge. The debut Mask of Lies didn't really have, much in the way of like prominent.
Your postcard says it did.
But
which I have with me to prove.
What?
Oh, that's that's like the ad for the new album.
Oh, okay. I'm just saying I have it with me.
That thing on the front side says it's about Mask of Lies, that it's out now, and then the back side has the thing with Jens and Mike on it saying that they're going to be on the next album.
Oh, okay.
That was like the little promo cards we put out for that.
I'm sorry. I read it wrong. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Maybe
I have one in my bag if you want to see it, just to be,
No, I
totally know what you mean.
I have so. I just thought it was cool, because I saw you with Mike on bass, Sorry, Rich, it was a show. You weren't there.
It's quite all right.
Just, he was very nice guy. I met him. He's a cool guy, and so are you. I would love to be in a band where it's just, some guy just walks in one day. Hey, this is so and so from blah blah. That's just wow.
Like working with Mike just kind of like came about very spontaneously. I was introduced to him through mutual friends several years ago at this point. Like I think back in like 2011, I think. And just kind of stayed in touch periodically. And we did a show down in Philly in I think like October of 2012 or 13? Yeah, 2013. And we booked the show, and then Rich had a thing where he couldn't do it. So we needed someone. We tried to find some way we didn't have to cancel the show.
Okay.
And Mike had jumped on stage with us at one or two of our shows before just to play like a cover song or something with us. But it's like I asked him, I'm like, hey, is there any chance I might be able to talk you into learning like a half hour or 40 minutes of our material? We'll do that, maybe 2 covers or something. And do the show with us. And he said, yeah, sure. And we did that. It was a lot of fun. And then a few months later, Rich decided he wanted to, step down temporarily right as we were getting ready to record the second full-length album.
We didn't know it was going to be temporarily.
Yeah, we didn't know it was going to be temporarily at the time.
I do have a photo at home that has all the autographs except for Rich's. I forgot to bring it with me. Next show, Rich, you're on the spot because I need to sign that picture. But
yeah, I just, naturally, again, it's the same kind of deal. We were just like, well, we need a bass player. And I was like, well, Mike's the best one I know, so I might as well ask him. And
he's very good. Very good.
He said yes.
All right, that's what I have written down. I could sit here all night and talk to you guys because I've known you for a while. It's kind of, sort of. But when push comes to shove, I need radio tags. So I need all you guys to say, like, we are Mindmaze, you're listening to Castle Blakk Radio, or something to that nature. Can I get you guys to do that?
Yeah, we should probably all say, hey, this is Mindmaze or something.
And then if you want to say your individual names, you can. You want to say a joke, you can. I want you, whatever's natural for you guys. I want to be, if you want to be silly, be silly. But I'm just, because I have some, like Dick Vomit. When they did their thing, it was freaking hilarious. So you probably know who they are. I'm just saying.
That even shocks me.
So you can just say Sarah, Jeff,
this is Sarah,
Truck,
and
Rich, or just say we are, and you'd listen to Castle Blakk Radio, whatever you want to do. You want to think about it?
Jeff's got no stage yet.
Well, I mean, usually, okay, we can be like, whoever's going to go first, probably Sarah, should be like, hey.
She's the most important.
Yeah, hey, this is Sarah, Jeff, Rich, and Truck. Everyone says their own name.
Yeah.
And then, I'll say, and we are, and then we say Mindmaze together,
the classic one.
Yeah. And
whatever you, like I said, this is whatever
I'll do the rest.
And then you're listening to Castle Blakk Radio.
Yeah, we can do that.
And then we're going to, I'll promise this, you're going to do a second one, because I want one that's saying, you're listening to JB Metal on Castle Blakk Radio, because I'm going through this trouble. I want one for myself. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm letting you know up front.
I know this whole song and dance.
So I'm just letting you know up front that I need 2.
Okay.
And if Truck wants to do a third for Metal Mom because he hung out with her kid, that would be even better. I think she would appreciate that. So.
Are we supposed to start?
So you guys, you can do whatever you want. I mean,
okay.
Rich, you may want to come closer to the microphone.
So, buddy, come here.
All right. Are you ready?
Yes.
Hey, this is Sarah.
Jeff.
Rich.
And Truck.
And we are
Mindmaze. And you're listening to Castle Blakk Radio.
Take 2.
Hey, this is Sarah.
Jeff.
Rich.
And Truck.
And we are Mindmaze.
And you're listening to JB Metal on Castle Blakk Radio. Turn it up.
There you go. See?
doing
See? Improvising. That's great. All right.
Wouldn't it be great if we did that, and then like one day we get
Alright.
fucking like a message from Ralph Sheeper? It's like, hey, I heard you stole my keep doing it.
What the fuck?
All right. Now,
It's like you rehearsed it.
take 3. I want Truck to say something about Metal Mom on Castle Black Radio.
Oh, jeez. What do you want me to say?
No,
So I'm
you-
the new
you-
guy here. I'm not trying
just
to
say-
like step
No,
out.
we'll just go
You're
through.
like, hey, this is Chuck
da,
from
da, da,
Mindmaze,
da.
and you're listening to, you know.
If you want him to do it solo, we can do
Or we
that.
could just do the same thing and then
Do
he
the
just
same
says-
thing, and
Yeah.
then he finishes off going, "This is Truck," and
Yeah.
he listens to Metal Mom on Castle Black Radio.
Okay.
All right.
Hey, this is Sarah.
Jeff,
Rich.
And Truck.
and we are.
Mindmaze.
And you're listening to Mom on Castle Black Radio. Ooh.
Let's do it one more time.
Metal Mom?
Metal Mom.
Okay, sorry.
All right.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Hey, this is Sarah.
Jeff,
Rich.
Truck.
and we are Mindmaze.
And you're listening to Metal Mom on Castle Black Radio.
Thank you. All right.
Yes.